Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, today we are speaking about students of B.Ed Honors 6th semester. The title of the course is Reading Difficulties, and our topic is definition or difference between reading disability and reading difficulty. So these are two confusing terms. Let us define first that what is reading difficulty. Reading difficulty means students have a problem in decoding the words, or they have problem in understanding the vocabulary, or they have problem in getting the meaning of the text, and why these things occur in the mind of a child. So many students attend classes. Some of the students are very sharp in reading and decoding, and they quickly blend the letters into the words, and they can have the ability of segmentation of the words. They can easily utter those words in a proper way. But some of the students are very poor, and they are considered as dull, and they are considered, sometimes teachers entitle them as nonsense students and boring students because they don't pay attention in the class, or perhaps they have little concentration in the class. So they are given different titles in the class by the teacher as a poor reader. But we must understand that reading difficulty occurs to them because of certain factors. What are those factors? Factors are that their background knowledge is very much poor, or they don't have background knowledge or prior knowledge, whatever they read, or their parents are uneducated. They have given very little time to their children for reading. They have spent very little time at home. They have not been given the environment of reading different things. Or their parents don't read to them at home. So these are some of the things we call reading difficulty. And from the other hand, we have reading disability. So we have a common movie, Tare Zameen Par. It is hero is Amir Khan, and he is going to deal when a student who has dyslexia. So dyslexia is reading, it is disability. So one common question with most of the teachers know very little about dyslexia and hyperlexia, and they both are reading disabilities. And what is the difference between disability and difficulty? Disability means the student's mind is differently wired than the common students or common people. His physiological condition is different from the common or normal student. That's why he has problem in reading. It doesn't mean, dyslexia doesn't mean that he has low intelligence, or he has no intelligence, or he has poor vision, or he can't see the words and letters properly, or he is lagging behind somewhere. No, it is not a case. We sometimes say that students with dyslexia read words and letters in reverse order. Suppose we say A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and he is going to say C, D, A, B in this way. It is not the case. We sometimes think this. And students with dyslexia see the numbers in reverse order. Suppose we say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, and they see the numbers as 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. So this is commonly considered from some teachers and scholars that this is dyslexia, but this is it has nothing to do with dyslexia. Dyslexia is a disability, and this ability doesn't stop a child in reading. Yes, but there is one case, that this child will be taught in different way. This child doesn't learn in the same way as other common students or normal students. Their way of reading and learning and is different from the students who have dyslexia. They have affected from their parents, because this is genetic disease. 50%, there are 50% chances that they will be afflicted with this disease. So in dyslexia, we must forget this, that students with dyslexia have low intelligence, or they have no intelligence, or they are lazy students, or they have poor vision, or we are going to entitle them with some poor words. So we should not entitle students with dyslexia with these bad titles, but we must find out different ways of teaching them. We must explore the ways. Suppose it is said that students with dyslexia are taught by listening compared to reading. If we are going to give them special time for teaching reading, then we have to tell them many stories. We have to speak with them, and we have to consume a lot of time, especially with the patient of dyslexia. And in this way, he can grow stronger, he can be more intelligent, he can cover all these points which a normal student covers. Problem is that teacher must understand that how he should or she should be taught. So dyslexia students are taught by listening compared to reading. If we ask them to read, he has problem in reading. Why this problem occurs? This problem occurs because he takes a lot of time in processing knowledge. He takes a lot of time in processing the letters in the words, and words into the phrases and sentences. It takes a lot of time. So we again quickly entitle the child as a dull boy, or as a nonsense student, or as a poor student. So I told you the difference between difficulty and disability. And difficulty, there are certain causes of difficulty, and they can be removed by giving special time to them. And again, we are talking about dyslexia. So the student with dyslexia, his mind is differently wired. His mind works differently from other students. He processes knowledge in different way. He should be taught certain skills. He must be given precious time to overcome the problems which he faces in the class. His confidence level must be increased, and he should not be given bad titles so that he can maintain his courage and boldness in the class, and he must feel himself as a normal student. There are certain skills which are affected. A student is affected when he has dyslexia. Suppose social skills. When a child has dyslexia, he cannot be social, and this is common. We have seen this movie, Tare Zameen Par, of hero is Aamir Khan, and how he is going to deal with that child, and how parents are going to condemn the child that you can't do this, and you are unable to do this, and you have little ability and little intelligence, or perhaps you are going to make pretext of not reading or not going to school. So they don't understand their child. And this is issue everywhere in Pakistan. The teachers are not going to understand the psychological condition of a child, and wrongfully apply different titles upon the child, that you are a bad boy, you are nonsense, you are irregular, you can't study, and the result is he escape away from the class, and he try to avoid to attend the classes regularly, and he shuns from performing his duties, and resultantly his stress level and his pressure increases. So we must understand that a child having dyslexia has social problems. So how to deal with it? He cannot socialize himself. He cannot adapt to company. He doesn't sit with people. He wants to be alone. So we must deal with this social skill. And a child with dyslexia has a comprehension problem. He cannot easily understand things. So if given a lot of time, he will understand. If he is given a precious and personal time, he can understand. Teacher must be frank and be friendly with him, and he will overcome his problems. Child with dyslexia have memory problem. He easily forget things. When you teach him one thing before 5 minutes, and he easily forget it, what I learned. So he has memory problem. He cannot maintain his memory. His memory is very much poor. Why? Because of dyslexia. Why? Because he cannot process information easily. He cannot repeat things easily, and his way of learning is different. So he doesn't shift the knowledge and information which he is given by his teacher to shift his knowledge from short memory to long memory and then maintain it. He can't do this. So if today's teachers have knowledge about dyslexia and hyperlexia, which are disabilities, if they have knowledge about these two diseases, disabilities, they can easily handle them. But if they are unaware of this disease, certainly they will use cane and stick in the class and use loud words to them, and we are going to discourage our students. Teachers are going to discourage those students who have this disability. Child with dyslexia have navigation problem. Suppose we ask them to go to school, and if he has to go to school straight, then left, then right, then left and right. So he forgets that what I was told. When he arrives at the school and he has a problem coming back to the home, that how were the ways, which ways I should adapt, and where I am standing. So he has navigation problem. He cannot easily understand routes. So this happens with most of the drivers. Some of the drivers, I am quoting common example here because dyslexia we are discussing about. So there are certain drivers when they go to Karachi or big cities, some of the drivers are very sharp, they easily understand the routes and they easily come back. But driver like me, I am very much poor in recognizing the routes. Where I go, I ask from many people where I am standing and how to go to the same place. So he has navigation problem. Students or people with dyslexia have a time management problem. It is hard for them to tell the time. What is time now, or what is the schedule or schedule? Suppose examination starts and he easily forgets the schedule, or he is given certain subjects, you have to deal with these subjects on those days and you will have to appear in the paper on particular days, so he easily forgets the schedule or time management. So students, people with dyslexia have these some of the problems which are because of his mind, which is not normally constructed or made. He has this disability. He processes things in different way, while we have difficulty in reading. This is a disability in reading, and we can easily differentiate between them. And if we know the difference between these two terms, difficulty in reading and disability in reading, we can easily handle the students with dyslexia or reading difficulty. So hope the topic is clear, and listen to this topic again and again, because this was a bit complicated topic which has not been discussed commonly by the teachers. So if you have any question during listening, please re-listen it and send me in written. I will respond to your questions. Thank you very much for listening to my video, and please subscribe my channel.